this summer will go down in history as the worst box office, what year was the best, according to you? Tintin is the true Indy 5. 22 words left, ran out.
That's a good question. I mean, if you go by pure numbers, I believe, wasn't it 2009? Was it 2000? What year was it?
2018 or 2019?
Yeah, I was gonna say 2018 or 19. I think. Yeah.
2018, 2019. Those 2 years were the best box office numbers in history, as performance measured by dollars. As performance measured by tickets, we'll never know because they stopped tracking ticket sales, butts and seats, sometime in the early aughts.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't really have.
You'd have to go back probably then to like the late 70s and 80s, because like you have years like 77 and 78 where movies like Star Wars,
butts and
was
seats
continuing to play up against like Superman, and you still had like Smokey and the Bandit and other movies that played and played and played. The 80s, you had years like 82 and 84 and 89 where you just had bucket loads of movies that came out.
Yeah,
but also, are we saying? Yeah, I mean, are we saying monetary wise, or are we saying quality of movies?
Well, I think both in those cases of the 80s films. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, no. This is what I was going to say. Like as well, are you saying about eras? Because this is, on a yearly basis. Maybe we could just go into eras. I mean, I'd say the 80s was,
I mean, you look at an example like 84, where you had a summer where Gremlins and Ghostbusters opened up on the same day. And still, Beverly Hills Cop ended up being the highest grossing movie of the year overall. Like, I mean, you have those three films alone, not to mention Karate Kid, and God knows how many others we could be here for all day talking about. I mean, and they were big blockbuster hits, right? Now, by inflation, you'd have to go through it, and I'd be willing to bet 82 or 84 are probably up there for the biggest year, if not 89, simply because of Batman and Indiana Jones and a couple of those movies that came out alone. The between that and 2019,
What year did Terminator drop?
That would have been 91. That was that was like one of the only big movies.
91?
I think it was 91, yeah.
Terminator
1? Oh, Terminator 1 was 84.
Oh, no.
Terminator 1 didn't do... Thing is, Terminator 1 didn't do as well in the theaters. It did okay.
No, but
it did better on cable
quality.
And video. Yeah.
Talking about quality as well, right? Like
70,
it all matters.
77 to 94 would have been the heyday for...
Pretty much 75.
Well, that's a good range.
Yeah,
that's a good range.
That's butts and seats and
Alien in there, all the sci-fi epics that dropped. Yeah. All the horror epics that dropped as well. That's a good range.
Well, the summer blockbuster started with Jaws, so that's why I usually go 75 to usually about 95 or 96, because 96 also had Independence Day.
Yep.
Which that was one of the last times where I felt like one of those movies like from the 70s or 80s where we had this was a big event film that everybody was going to see. Right.
That's true, but I mean, again, we're talking about quality, butts and seats, overall, monetary earnings. I mean, you can also always look at the first Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire, and just be
that's kind of a new era, though. That's the thing is like that's kind of that. You have Independence Day is kind of like a demarcation, because then after that, we kind of had shit like Godzilla. And crap like that. And then Spider-Man came along after Phantom Menace and Godzilla. Like, because Phantom Menace and Godzilla were big events, but they also felt like disappointing events.
They were very disappointing.
Yeah.
According to Box Office Mojo, the biggest year for movies was 2018 with almost 12 billion.
Yep, that's what we were thinking. Yep. It was either that or 19,
billion.
Yeah.
Wow. Goodness me.
They had 2 consecutive years, 2018, 2019. They were enormous at the box office. There was very little fall off from 2018 to 2019.
Yep, 2016 had a good year too. It was 11.375 billion.
Yeah, and 2015 was that point at which you had the switching of the gears, and it was likely driven by just superhero stuff. And
Jurassic World came out that year too.
Yeah, you had the year that The Force Awakens and Jurassic World came out, and then you had the year that Infinity War came out, and then Endgame and stuff like that after that.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.